Welcome back to the Central Valley Buzz, everybody. It's Thursday, and it's time to go back to Old Town Mariposa with our buddy Bob Borchard from Bet's Gold Coin. Bob, how's it going?
It's going absolutely awesome.
And who'd you bring with me today?
I brought an old friend, Troy Foster, from Mariposa. Troy is a pilot. He owns a hardware store, True Value hardware store in Mariposa, and Troy spends an inordinate amount of time keeping me straight and narrow.
Well, that sounds like a tough job.
Well, it is. It's a big job, and keeping me repaired, and he is one of the organizers of the Mariposa Air Fair, and I thought maybe he could do a little bit about what were we going to be doing this weekend. It's an exciting weekend we have planned up north.
Well, I'd love to hear about it. I love Mariposa. I love a great reason to go up to Mariposa. Troy, how are you? Nice to meet you.
And it's a pleasure is entirely mine.
Well, we'll see about that later on.
And I would say Bob's being too kind. A lot of people are organizers of this event. It's a wonderful community event. Commemorating a wonderful airport that's been there since 1935. Airport is a very precious thing, particularly if you're in your community that doesn't have one. Wife and I made a decision to purchase property in Mariposa, particularly based on the fact that there was an airport there. There were other communities that we had looked at property. It simply didn't make sense because one of our modes of transportation to go from Southern California, from the postage stamp to a really nice ranch up in Mariposa, was the ability to get there in a couple of hours rather than a 6 or 7 hour drive.
So how big is the plane that you fly from Mariposa to L.A.?
I'm sorry, what's the question?
How big is the plane that you fly in?
Well, the plane is, I would call it a single engine, 4-seat airplane, 3 passengers and a pilot. Not a terribly big. Most 4-seat planes are really 2-seat planes if you got luggage. You can put 4 passengers and no luggage, or 2 passengers and some luggage. And believe me, that airplane's got a lot of air miles on it with 2 people and some luggage. We actually had a business in Southern California and lived in Mariposa and was able to conduct business by flying back and forth.
Nice.
So. But not here to talk about what I have gained from the Mariposa Airport, but moreover, what anybody who might want to come out this coming Saturday, April 26th, starting at 8 o'clock, and enjoy a variety of activities, not the least which would be to start out for $5 having some of our wonderful firemen and women cooking a delectable pancake breakfast, hard to beat. And also to visit not only an air show where you're going to see a lot of unique, antique, rare, unusual, home-built type of airplane. You're also going to see a variety of cars that are going to be out there as well.
Oh, so there's a car at the air show.
It co-located with the air show. Not only will be the car show, there also will be a variety of vendors out there, including our store will actually have a little 10 by 10 pop-up, a couple of tables there and some product on it. But there's going to be a lot of people who use crafts with their hands and things like that, one-of-a-kind unique items, maybe selling antiques, all of these type of things. There's going to be music.
Well, we know Mariposa has music. That shouldn't be too hard.
Well, we'll probably have some really good music, and we'll have some good music. Okay, let me just say that. And then, of course, there's throughout the day, we have this giant barbecue, and it has got giant tri-tips being cooked with red oak under them. And just about the time you're good and hungry, after that pancake breakfast is worn off and you're ready, it's tri-tip, beans, and potato salad.
You're selling it.
We have
Okay.
we have a video that kind of catches some of the excitement here that was done by Walt Hebern, our multimedia guy
The
at
high
the
school.
Maybe we could show that, and it'll kind of give you a better picture of what's going on, and maybe Troy can explain a little about what's happening in this video. Are we getting?
Okay, Billy, let's go to the air show. Here we go. Mariposa Air Fair, April 26th, this Saturday.
And of course, that would be a little bit hard for those pictures to be taken this Saturday, but this was last year's event. What you're seeing right now are free rides for kids, and let me describe those kids. They would be kids from 8 to 17, and this is part of the Experimental Aircraft Association Young Eagles Project. We give these kids rides and who are interested in aviation, and maybe it's the first and last ride they ever take, or maybe they get fired off and make an aviation career. It's a lot of fun. That you just saw was a simulator. That simulator was designed and built by a bunch of just characters from our airport. This thing actually has motion to it. It's certainly not flight safety standard, which are several $100,000, but it's what we were able to put together, and the kids are just in it all day having an awful lot of fun.
How cool. How cool. Now, the flights for kids, for free?
Yes, as a matter of fact, it's pretty much a donation. A pilot, such as myself, although I will probably not be doing that this year, would pick a couple of kids up at a time, or whatever. We have weight restrictions there, so you weigh it and you calculate your fuel and you make sure that everything is safe, and you take these kids for a short ride, demonstrate, actually just hand the kid sitting next to you the reins and say, fly this thing, because that's
After
pretty
you're in
exciting.
the air, right?
Oh, well, we rarely do it on landing. Let's just put it that way.
Now, this airport, Troy, how big of a plane can in and out of this airport?
With the proper pilot behind the stick, I have seen big twin-engine aircraft such as Cessna Conquest. This is a cabin class premier type airplane. Now, you've got to be
someone had some money that was flying into that one.
Oh, there's some people that have some money.
I bet.
They come to take advantage of a number of things, not the least of which is Mariposa, but obviously we have this treasure called Yosemite National Park that's 45 minutes away from our airport. So people can come out in their airplane. Now, there is a little restriction. From noon to 2, we're going to be shutting down air traffic in the area for demonstrations and rides and a few things like that. But anybody that's got an airplane, wants to fly out to Mariposa on Saturday the 26th, come on out anytime before noon. You're not limited. You can drive. You can come from Fresno. You can come from Madera. You can come from Sacramento. You can come from Merced. You can come from Oakhurst. You can come from anywhere you want and visit and have an awful fun day.
Well, it sounds like a fun time.
And I got to tell you that this is in the town of Mount Bullion. And, we are in the restaurant and the tavern business, but every tavern owner has a hideout, their favorite place to go. And in Mount Bullion, when you get to Mount Bullion, after the show, or even before you get there is a place called the Airport Bar and Grill. Now, we've always known it
Is
as,
this at the airport, or?
It's right across the street from the airport, and Tom and Robbie run the Airport Bar and Grill. And they have told me that anyone who walks in there Saturday, they get $1 off of a beverage if they mention that they saw me on this show.
Really?
Really.
Now, what kind of beverages would we be talking about?
Well, we could be talking about a cerveza.
Oh, okay, airport.
It could be a glass of wine. It could be a glass of water. They're very liberal there.
The Pine Float,
Pine float, yes.
right?
And but if you are in the neighborhood and want to run across the street to the airport and find out where I hide out when I come and want to go to some place that's not mine, that's my place.
What's the population up there in Bullion? What is it? 325 people?
No, that's elevation.
No, elevation is 2176. I read that one.
Actually, the population is just friendly. And I'll throw in a plug for that airport. I happen to be fortunate enough to own a motorcycle, and every time I go for a motorcycle ride, I usually stop in. They don't get their hamburgers from Cisco or some other hamburger supply company. Every single hamburger is handmade patty, and
Like they got a cow out back.
Some part of a cow still left out there because I've eaten about half of him.
All right,
Tom
the
and Robbie.
Mariposa Air Fair coming up this weekend.
Guaranteed.
Another great event going on in Mariposa, and we might as well mention it right now while you guys are here. The following weekend, and we'll be talking about that next week, I'm sure. The Mariposa Butterfly Festival. We're super stoked about that. The butterflies that Kathy McCrory bought me last week have already made their cocoon. The kids are stoked. We can't wait to go up to Mariposa for that.
And I got to tell you, for my guest, I have a special surprise. And I tell you because it wouldn't be a surprise.
A butterfly burger, Bob?
No. This is my special guest is going to do a cowboy poet show for you guys as a preview to what's going to be happening as part of our butterfly.
I can't wait.
She's much better looking than Troy.
Oh, it's a she? You're bringing a she cowboy, a cowgirl.
A cowgirl doing cowboy poetry.
Okay.
But she doesn't fly. She's not a pilot. So
That's next week.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys this weekend up in Mariposa for the Mariposa Air Fair. Troy Foster, thank you very much for coming up. It was great meeting you. Bob, I'll see you next week.
Well, the pleasure was still mine, and please, come as you are, bring the kids. It's $2 to get in, kids are free. You're going to have a wonderful time.
it's Easter vacation.
And
And we
beautiful
take it.
weather up there in Mariposa. We're going to take off, but join us next Thursday in Old Town Mariposa, where Bob will take us for another adventure. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back on the Central Valley Buzz.